deep breath, raise your hands, right? It's a serious meditation, guys. Raise your hands and then start throwing. Just assume that you have a ball in your hand and just start throwing it. Come on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Amazing. So take a deep breath and let's be a quick gratitude prayer, and then we'll bring Vijay on the screen. Close your eyes and thank you, God, for sending a messenger who opened the door of PM in my life. Thank you, God, for giving me an opportunity to learn and grow. Thank you, God, for giving me wisdom to be part of this growth program. Thank you, God, for helping me learn something new today. And thank you, God, for helping me concentrate mentally, physically, and emotionally to learn how to help myself and others to grow in their life. With that, let's bring Vijay sir on the screen.
Is my voice audible?
Yes, sir. Your voice
Is
is
it
perfectly audible.
clear to all? Okay.
Yeah.
So let me mute all. I hope all are muted. Let me mute
Yeah,
all.
it's muted.
All right, I've done it. Thank you. So I'm so happy to see all of you here back again. And if you had been attending these sessions quite regularly, we will be closing 2 years doing online sessions. Though training sessions I'd been doing for 10 plus years now, but online sessions, thanks to pandemic, every opportunity and every calamity are interconnected somehow. I don't know why. So it brought me up almost every week. And next week I'll be also coming to radio. I have one radio host has been talking to me, so I'll be on radio show coming Friday. No, not this Friday. Yes, coming Friday I'll be on radio show as well. So I'm passionate about adding value. So whichever forum I get in, I do get in. We started January this year. We started with self-image mastery. We started with how to change patterns, little bit NLP. We started with, and then I thought, why not we switch a gear? Because self-image mastery, I could have taken another 10 sessions, but people want change. We all are not S personalities, all are not C personalities. Some are and D and I don't have patience for one topic beyond 10. So I thought, let us take a break for some time. And I've brought up my favorite topic. My favorite topic is leadership. Now, why do I say leadership is my favorite topic? Because leaders get all the blames and they never get any credit. If something goes wrong, they search whom to blame, and that is leader. If something goes right, there are a lot of people who want the credit, so that's part of life. So, and it's my favorite topic. Why? Because from childhood, I had been criticized. So because I had been criticized, I started assuming I'm a leader somehow. I don't know. That was self-image. I remember I used to tell to my brother, I was just when I was preparing notes for this topic. So I recalled one of the incident of 1998. In 1998, I was in my engineering college, second year. So me and my brother used to stay together. He's a doctor, and he's an MD in medicine, and we used to stay in the same hostel. And my track record, if you're not aware, I'm a school dropout, struggling to pass. That was my background. And don't worry, I have a genuine IIT degree, and somehow I managed to get into IIT as well. So we had a discussion. I used to tell, you know what, brother, I do not know about you. You are a school topper. Your future doesn't seem to be bright. I'm a school dropout. Chances are high I may one day become Steve Jobs or someday some big thing I can become, because there's a possibility that I can do something great. Because all the track record, whether it is Einstein or Newton, they all had something like that. Track record was bad and somehow they took this charge and used to inspire. This I used to tell to boost my self-image, but that time I did not used to have confidence, because when you get blamed, when people attack you, what do? Either you kill yourself or you die, or if you stay alive, you become something, something to do. So that's my favorite topic. And when I was talking about this, change is also very difficult. Do you all agree? Change is very difficult. When do people change? If I ask you right now, I'll ask you the very simple question. You can go through it just a minute. I'll start with 5 questions. I have simple 5 questions for all of you as usual. The reason I ask questions because I realized my before pandemic I used to do sessions online. So people are engaging in the question. In online somehow I don't know how to engage. So I realized the best thing is to make sure that you all are on the same page. We all should learn. So I'm sending my first thing. So here's the first question. Answer genuinely, okay? I do not want any diplomatic answer. That is why I never ask your name, so that you can be transparent to answer what you feel to answer, okay? So go through it. The first question I'm asking is, when you change something that brought a significant transformation in you, what was the reason? Why do people change? Because all of us change at some point in time. What motivates that change? So I have written three answers for you. If you believe there is some other answer, you can add that as well. I changed because I was inspired to do something great. But as you know, right, inspiration doesn't last beyond one movie, or inspiration doesn't last beyond 1 hour or one day or 1 month. Then second is, I changed because I was fed up with my present. I was really fed up. And I knew that if I do not change something, my results will be pathetic. Second reason people change for that. Third, I changed because pain was unbearable. I mean, you're like humiliated. You said, enough is enough, man. I have to, or if you want, you can add some positive also, whatever you feel like. But that I gave based on my understanding. You are always welcome to add your answers. So that'll be really great. Right. So here we are. Let's see how's the answers. I'm expecting all of you to answer in all, okay? It's the first question, so I'm expecting 255 votes. Is it a big expectation? 255, all of you should be participating. And I'm sure if you're here on Saturday evening, so you are excited to learn, then why not participate? Wow, 90 votes have already come. That's super awesome. It's an easy question. Then I have four sentences around this question. So answer it, you will love it, okay? The first question is very easy question to answer. I always start with the easy question so that all of you know get connected. And then I have two. After this, I have three difficult questions. So first answer the easy one. All right. 30 seconds more. I'm seeing quite an interesting answer. Need of the hour, change it to new. Wow, wow, wow. Answers are really, really good. That is good. 144. That is quite good. Quite an interesting number. 160. Can we cross 200 in next 10 seconds? Need to share the answer again, question again. Okay, I'll send it. Let me send it. Some of you didn't find the link. Okay. If you joined a little late, I'm sending the link again for all of you. All right. So here it is. So answers are very interesting. That is good. Situation was the reason for change. Agreed. I was given the answer again form for all of you. All right. Last 10 seconds. Let me share the answer to all of you. Here it is. Let's see how it goes. So whopping 56% people, I changed because I was fed up with my present situation. So if you see that, if you see every time when you come, these polls can actually change your perception towards life. So tell me, if I ask you a very simple question after knowing these realities, other also if your my ego was hurt, it is more or less hurt. See, if you see the other answer also, I changed because I wished. When change was the only option available, I worked on my goal consistently. Who or self change is the first step to change. If you see more or less the other answers also, except this first 29.4% who are somehow motivated, and they also then let it go for some time. If you see the question answer, if you see what was that, but after some time they gave up. It is means more or less 56.7%, and other also, if I take out the first 30, 70% people can only change when there is a problem. Now tell me, if there is a problem in your life, it is good or bad? By seeing this result, if there is a problem in your life right now, is it good or bad? I think this itself closes the session. I mean, we can close the session right here. The first biggest lesson of life you've learned right now, that if there is a problem, it is actually good for you. Without problem, it is impossible that you will perform to your peak potential. Problem is we are not aware of it. So I read it somewhere. It's very interesting. I loved it. So I'll give you 5 rules of life. Write it down. It will help you out big time. The first rule is you will always learn lessons. That is part of life. You will always learn lessons. That is the first thing. Second thing, there are no mistakes, only lessons. So first, you will always learn lessons. Second, there are no mistakes, only lessons. And the third, a lesson is repeated. A lesson is repeated until you change, until you have learned from it. Fourth one, if you don't learn the easy lesson, that's quite interesting. If you don't learn the easy lessons, they get harder, because pain is the only way universe gets your attention. So I repeat again very slowly. You can write it down. You will learn lessons, that is for sure. Life is all about learning lessons. Second, there are no mistakes, only lessons. That means if your perception towards mistake is wrong, you will never grow. And I was talking to my son today morning. Okay, man, you are an expensive child for me. You keep experimenting and you keep making mistakes, and every mistake of yours is costing me a lot of money. You are an expensive child, man. But what to do? I mean, he's experimenting a lot, so he keep making mistakes. That's another story, that he doesn't learn lesson right now because he's just 10-year-old. But more or less, he keeps making mistakes. Third, Lesson is repeated until you're learned lesson out of it. The pain will keep on repeating in your life. You will keep on learning the same lesson. I remember when I dropped out from my college for first semester, I thought it is hard. I didn't enjoy it much. But when I came back again, I realized you have to learn the lesson that the more you run away from a thing, the more that thing chases you. That is a rule of life. The more you run away from it, the more you chase. I'll tell you why the thing chase you back. The reason, because when you run away from something, actually what are you focusing on? Let's say you're running away from certain things. You're actually focusing on that thing only, right? That's why you're running away. And more you focus on it, whether you focus to remove it or whether you focus to attract it, bottom line is you're focusing on it. That is why the things which you run away from, they eventually come back to you. Such a simple thing. That means if you want to kick out something, go and lean forward rather than running back. If you lean forward, chances are high pain will go away. So third lesson. Fourth, obviously, if you don't learn the easy lesson, the lesson gets harder. That's a big pain, because pain is the only way people will change. As you all saw, 60% people had same opinion that until we have pain enough, we don't change. And the last one, how do you know you have learned a lesson? If you have learned a lesson, your actions and your behaviors will change. So five simple lessons. So first, what is that? There is no mistakes, only lessons. Second, you will always learn lessons. Third, if you don't learn the lessons which are easy, the lesson will become harder. Lesson is repeated until you learn them. And the last one, you will know you have learned a lesson if your behavior and your action changes. That's very, very important. So let's come to the point of rejection. Let me tell you one thing in a simple layman language. If you are rejected, if people are opposing you when you're doing the right thing, that means, let me tell you, you are moving forward. The only way, you can write it down, the only way you can avoid rejections and criticism in life is by doing nothing and being nothing. If you do nothing and you be nothing, nobody will criticize you. Check it out. Nobody. You just stay ordinary, just follow the same status quo, try to do anything new, people will criticize you. Because anything which you are using today was an impossible some years back. I come from VLSI industry, and I've seen things changing. When I was in IIT in 2004 and 6, then I think we are using 180 nanometer, 90 nanometer. I mean, some of you are not from VLSI industry, forget the term. The chips were very small. 180 nanometer to 90 nanometer. By the time I left college, I came to ARM. We were working on 45 nanometer. From 45 to 22, now we are talking about 5 nanometer or something. I don't know. What it means is things are changing at a rapid pace. And if you have to do something, there's an impossibility. Right now, somebody is thinking what to do beyond 1 nanometer. Some new technology will come definitely for sure. That means if you are kicked, if you are rejected, that means you are growing. Now answer these two questions. Same form you go again. All right. Same form you go again. Here you have to now, I have created 3 questions for you. You can skip the first questions now straight away, and you can go to section 2. All right. This question you can skip and go to section 2. Now response to rejection, and understand this response. These 3 questions have the secret and where we'll go for this whole discussion of the point of rejection. Number 1, if you've tried something that was not a norm, what was people's response? Let's see, and let's understand this. You're trying something to do, and it is something different from the crowd. What is people's response? What do you think they will respond with? Let's answer this 3 questions, okay? This is the first question. Second, when the society or close friends rejected you, what did you do? So first, when you're trying to do something which is not a norm, obviously people behave differently, right? So what was your experience with that? Secondly, when they rejected you or they were against you, what did you do? Did you came out of it, or what exactly did you do? And the third point, if you drop that idea, now think very clearly, okay? Just try to recall your experiences of life. If you drop that idea for any reason, and now if it is a 10-year back, you dropped an idea. Now when you see it today, what is your experience? Is it a regret? Was it a false idea? Was it a false fear? What was it? Answer these 3 questions. These 3 questions are the foundation of today's lesson, basically. So go through it. Take some minutes, take 2 minutes and answer this question. They are really powerful question. All right, answer them. These 3 questions are very, very important. So, 30 responses. That's very nice. I'm excited about the answers. Right. I'm sure all of you are right now into some experiences of college days, some experiences of your entrepreneurship venture. I'm sure each one of you has experienced something in your life. It will take you to your memory land. Just go through memory land of some decisions you took, Some of you might have taken a marriage decision. Some of you have taken a career decision, which people say, no, it's a wrong career or whatsoever. Some of you quit in between because of some fear. And now, after 10 years, it's the way they show in movie, right? The child sees something and suddenly 20 years later. In movie, 20 years goes just like a 2 seconds. From here to here, 20 years gone. In real life, 20 years goes one day at a time. That's the only problem. All right? So go through it. 88 response. Very nice. Hundred and one response. 30-second more. Easy questions. I'm sure. Yeah, easy, straightforward answers. I like the answer. I like the result. They are amazingly good. So form is somebody asking form. Form is given to all. Right. Section 2. So doesn't you have to go to section 2. So section 1 you let go. Right after this you'll go to next. You'll go to section 2. These are the 3 questions are there. Right. Okay. Last 10 seconds. Today you will be relieved from a 100 kg load from your shoulder. When you are seeing the answer right now, it will relieve you from a lot of stress right away. Okay. Okay. 167 response. Amazing. I like your enthusiasm. I'm so happy to have you all because full participation makes it really interesting. So happy. Right. That's good. 170 response. Wow. Okay. Then let me share the screen now. The answers. Okay. And you'll come to know what exactly happens to all of us. Here it is. Let's see what it says. See this 8%? It means whenever you have an idea, what do you expect? People will not listen to you. So all the innovators, if you are innovator, did you thought that it is only happening with me? Probably my family is the only bad family. Probably my boss is the only boss who is bad. Probably something. Let me tell you today. If you are in this session, you are so blessed today to see a live polling. See, when you see in a book, at least you think the data is fabricated or not. Right now, it is a live data. You are seeing from 178 people's experience. See what it says. Only 8% people were in favor of your new idea. I mean, they didn't criticize. That's the only thing they didn't criticize. They were, if you see the answers, let's see these answers. Okay, these were the answers. If you tried something new, they were against it. They were extremely excited and supported me. That means support. How many of you can expect support from people? Only and only and only from 8% people support is coming. That means 92% people are going to oppose you. Now tell me, do you want to open a startup? Do you have the courage now? After knowing this data, do you want to open a startup? Do you want to do something? Do you want to marry a girl of your choice? People will have opposition. Trust me. Anything you do, they will oppose you. I can assure you, you want to marry a girl of your choice if you're a bachelor, be ready for opposition. Okay. If you want to have kids in your time, in your terms and condition, in your time frame, you will be opposed. I remember when I was married, I said, I don't want to have kids, man. Come on. I'm just newly married. I myself am a kid. Why do I want a kid? And I was so against it. I said, man, until I become rich, I cannot have kids because I don't want to be poor and I don't want to be a poor father. You know what? It was so much of rejection. So when they couldn't disturb me, so they started calling Gitika, man, when are you going to have baby? When are you going to have? I said, heck with it, man. I don't want a baby. Who cares? It's my life. But only 6% people can understand my feelings. All 92% couldn't understand. And then obviously, now we have 2 kids, by the way. So that's the reality. I thought one day when I'm not enjoying my technical job, I don't want to do it. What the heck it is? Nobody understood. Was here. What are you doing, man? You should focus on technical career. I said, well, I'm not enjoying it. I am not at all enjoying it. It is not my passion. No, I don't want to do it. It is okay. There may be 40 lakhs. I don't enjoy it. I want to come out of it. What do you think people did? Oh man, you're crazy or what? Come on. I don't care. Whatever I did till now in my life, only 4 or 6% people supported me. I'm really blessed that I got 100% support from my wife. That is for sure. My parents somehow are really good. I mean, the reason being, they always said, man, you are not listening from childhood. So they actually got acquainted by the way I was. The problem was till 10th class, they lost hope on me because I was school dropout. So said, "Yeah, even anything good Vijay can do is good enough. It's like a bonus in our life." So I was lucky in this regard that my parents stopped disturbing because they realized Vijay is whatever he's doing is more than enough. So that means, folks, this is the reality. They were against it and criticized it. Criticized it. Imagine. And when do people criticize? Let me tell you, when do they criticize? Have you think like this? You are trying to open a startup right now, okay, or a consulting right now, or some career you start right now. In the beginning point, will you have a clear picture? Is it possible? Are you Lord Krishna or what? Lord Krishna was a god. He could see the whole Mahabharat. Man, I am a human being. I cannot see what will happen next year. So what happens now? Typically, you start something, then there are people like this. It will not work. This is not good. This is not good. It's not work. Come on, it's not work. And now what do you do? Okay, let me start. Impossible. I'm telling you, it is so painful. I have changed so many careers. I've changed so many business ideas. And whenever I change, the first thing I know, there's a sea of opposition will come. So many times I say, okay, let me go to build some muscles first. Then let me come and face these oppositions of seas. And it happens from good people, from good intention. The first thing is, no, Vijay, it will not be possible. And the moment they say no, initially I have to get like, shit, man, what will happen now? Now I'm okay, okay, please go ahead. No. Then I say, they'll say no. Then I have to talk to them for 15 minutes. Then I have to talk to them for half an hour. Then after 1 hour, then yeah, I think it can be possible. Then after 2 hours, I think it is a good idea. After 4 hours, but this 4 hours doesn't happen in one day, but okay. When this 4 hour discussion means it is happening in monthly once or something. So 6 months, I think can be a good idea. It can still it is can be. From can be to it is a good idea. My goodness, it takes away 6 to 9 months. And most of you will end up losing your friends out of it. And that's why you find so difficult to do anything new. It's I'm sure you've heard this crab story, right? A crab, a crab is coming out. The only thing you have to do is open the lid and put another crab. These guys will keep on pulling each other down, and this crabs will be you don't have to do any password protection. Just put two crabs. You will never see crabs coming out. That is exactly what our life is. Now see the second answer. This can actually be a really heart touching. Okay, when the society or close friend rejected you, what did you do? This is what is most important. Let's see what people do. Okay, what is the first answer? Let's see what are the question. They were against it and criticized if you tried. Okay. I got humiliated and left after fighting for some time. All right. Let's see what happened. What's the answer now? The first answer, I got humiliated and left after fighting. 46% people could not handle the rejections beyond 1, 2, or 3 rounds. And they said, yeah, forget it. I don't care. I'm okay to live my ordinary life. They let go their dream. Okay. Second, I had to fight my battle alone, and once it was successful, then people started praising. Then always right when the hero of the movie succeeds, then what say? I knew this guy is champion, man. The problem is this line in the beginning would have helped us, but this line when it comes when you're at the conclusion of the movie, it doesn't help anything. It's just boosting your ego. Other than this, nothing can happen. Third thing, if you observe third line, I had to let them criticize and continue. These guys are really facing tough time. The problem is when you go through this situation, it can internally make you hard. That's why you see some people who really struggle hard, they're internally very bitter. And this bitterness is coming because of their dream. They're chasing their dream and nobody's supporting them. They really, really, really fight. And now see this answers, I just ignored their comments. Think practically, I'm sure you might have ignored, but if you can be honest, didn't it hurt you? Is it not in your soft corner of your heart where it really bothers you? See these idiots and say, man, I will one day take a revenge from you. I'll succeed and let me know. Right? It happens, right? That's typical. And see the last one. This is very important. If you drop the idea or you pursued the idea, what was the lesson now? This is where you should actually see the conclusion of the story, okay? No point in aiming higher. See, 19% people after that one level, they realize why to fight so much, why to have so much of struggle, but let me better live a simple life. Think upon it. If I assume you are not 75 right now and you still have another 30 years, let me wake you up today. Even if you let go your dream, shall I propose you one thing? Don't let go your dream now. You have PIM. If nobody is there, I can assure you I am there to support you. That's for sure. I can coach you. What's the problem? You don't have to stay alone. If you feel you're giving up your dream, I assure you, don't give up on your dream. There is a way out. Don't let go. I mean, if your technology is outdated, then I cannot help you. I'm not techie guy. But other than this, I can help you in bring your mental state perfect. Okay. Second thing, follow your passion. How does it matter? Now, this is actually the right answer, but very difficult to do. Now, see this, I got depressed by quitting and now I have regret. See this, that is very, very important. That is 50. What is going to happen? Again, I'll tell you the same thing. What is the point in being bitter? Why not take a lesson and move on? Why not take a lesson and move on? Okay, I'll give you one simple video of this. Who wrote Harry Potter? Who is author? I don't remember the name of it. I always keep mentioning about her. And she has a very good, or her very good video is there on Stanford University or Harvard University, I think, where she talks about there's an expiry date to blame parents. So you should go and watch this audio for video for sure. J.K. Rowling, yep. J.K. Rowling is right, yes. J.K. Rowling, you search in this YouTube, you can find her video on Stanford convocation, something is there, where she's talking about that there is an expiry date to blame. So now let me tell you, you are now adult, you are now grown up. Why do you want to be in regret? It's okay, let's learn a lesson. At least today's session, you have seen the data right in front of you that everybody is facing the same situation. Not that your parents are bad. It's not that your spouse is bad. It's not that your friends are bad. It's not like that. If the world is filled like that, that people naturally has a tendency to say no to the first thing. Now, I can put it more simple for you. The reason people have a tendency to say no, because scientifically it had been proven that by the time a child grows up, 90% time he listens and no. And when I'm seeing as a father, I'm also doing unknowingly the same thing. Those children demand such a thing which I cannot fulfill. He demand, can I ride a bicycle in the street? Can I ride my bike on the street? Now, as a father, what will I say? No, Baba, no, don't do. So he has been listening, no, 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 whole day. By the time he become adult, now he has good brain. What will happen to it? If he subconsciously accept that, finally he will start accepting his incapabilities more than anything else. So these are very, very important. Okay, so I think this lesson you learned. So what is the bottom line story of this? Number one, what I'm trying to conclude, people will reject you. So I'll give you a humorous story. So I was talking to a CEO of a mid-sized startup, and we're having just a humorous discussion. He said, Vijay, you know what? In our company, all are healthy. You don't need any such of session. I said, why? Well, see, I'll tell you why they're so healthy. They said, in our company, people burn 200 kilocalories just by coming to conclusions without thinking. They don't think, they don't do anything, they just come to conclusions. It's like doing jumping jacks. They do 500 plus jumping jacks because they don't listen and they just come to conclusions. You cannot say anything. Before you complete a sentence, they conclude it. I said, wow, that's awesome, man. They are burning so much of energy. Then he said, they're so adamant about their point of view. They're so adamant about their point of view that if they say something, they believe this is the iron, this is the line of cast and concrete. You cannot change. It's as good as they're doing planks of 30 seconds. 100 planks every day they do, which is like they are adamant to their point of view. Even if they're wrong, they catch their point of view. It is my point, so it cannot go wrong. They are so strong. They do so much of plank every day. And they said, not only that much, they do push-up also. I said, how? Very simple. They keep blaming others. They keep blaming to such an extent that they push the other person so hard. It's like 100 times they blame every day somebody, and they do so much of push-ups every day. I said, all? No, it's not all. They do pull-up also. I said, what do they do in pull-up, by the way? They said, this guy, they try to anything good, they'll pull everybody down. If anybody is doing anything good idea, if they propose a good idea in a meeting, somebody will pull him down. I said, man, awesome, your company is good. You're definitely set to close your company very soon. Either you fire these people or you bring me in and I'll train them how to be positive in their life. So that was the discussion going on. So what's the point number one, folks? Point number one, if you want to handle it, if you want to do something, either decide today, write it on a paper. Either you decide today that you will do nothing, you will say nothing, and you'll be nothing. You will never have criticism. Do you want this life? If you want this life, for you the session is over. But if you don't want this life, then listen these 3 points carefully. What are those 3 points? Point number one, if you really want to handle this situation, the first point is you have to know yourself very well. Because otherwise you cannot handle this criticism. What do you mean by know yourself? When I say know yourself, you know yourself only 1 or 2 or 3 questions. So I remember, I'll give a practical perspective of my life. Whenever I've taken a decision, I did one day a very simple chart of my life when I was doing my startup. I asked myself, Vijay, whenever you change something, why do you do it? What is the intention? So I wrote it down very clearly. My intention is simple. I am not enjoying this. I want more growth and I want to do this. And one thing was sure, I don't want to hurt anybody's. In terms of feeling, I have no control because people get hurted with their feeling without my permission. I never hurt them, but they get hurted anyways. So that's not in my control. At least I will try my level best not to hurt anybody. I'll make sure it is ethically correct. I'm not taking away anything from anybody. I don't want to violate somebody's right. With this, if I go ahead, and if people are still against, I don't have to worry. So I just ask myself very simple, what is your intent? And this you have to be very honest. What is your intent? I always ask myself in a bold letter, what is your intent? Why are you doing this? I honestly tell you, I do a lot of coaching. When I ask this question, I don't know why people do not want to accept the truth. They give some round answer to themselves also. Forget about me. They don't give true answer to themselves as well. I don't know why they're scared for. Why can't they give a simple straightforward answer? Boss, I want to be. So I give permission. Okay. The way I tell myself, I want to be rich. Okay. I don't have any, same to say this. I want to be rich. It's okay. I want to be rich. What is the problem? I want to live the life in my terms and conditions. What is the problem? Is there any harm in that? I mean, there's no problem. So first tell honestly, what do you want? That means you have to know yourself very well. Once you know yourself, I'll tell you what should you know yourself. Know your interest, know your strengths, know which area not to get into at all. If somebody asks me today, man, you get into this, I will not get into it. You know what is my strength? Only one area of my strength. I am good in coaching, training, mentoring people. Somebody says, man, there's a good opportunity in a startup where you can work in some VLSI domain. I said, good for you. So I have having MTech degree from it. I am good in VLSI, but I'm not meant for it. I'm not meant for a lot of other things. There's at least 8 to 10 career opportunities knocked in my life in last 10 years. And it was so easy for me to say no to them because of simple reason. I knew this is not something which I will enjoy. I never let go a thing just because it is difficult. I only let go a thing because I knew this is not my area of passion. So I never asked how much money can I make. I never asked them because I knew money is the wrong question to ask. First question is this something which I will enjoy to do is the first question. If this question is answered to me, I'm done. Because my area of passion, I can work till night 3 o'clock. I can do what I want. I can actually be energetic. That's the first thing. Second thing you have to do, if you really want to handle this criticism, change yourself. Know yourself is the first point. Changing yourself is the second point. Now, what do you want to change? Is the second question. What will I change? Whenever I change, I'll change for 3 simple questions I'll ask to myself. Who is criticizing me? My first question I always write down is who is criticizing me? Write down this question. Who is criticizing me? Second question I ask to myself, how was it given? Was this criticism given in what was the intent behind it? How was it given? And why was it given? These 3 questions I asked to myself. Otherwise, what will happen? You'll be confused. Now, what do I ask? Who criticized me? Now, so let's say I'm doing something. So I'll sit with myself and ask, man, why is this person criticizing me? So I realized if he's interconnected with me, then my decision will impact his life. Let's say me and my wife, obviously we are business partners and we are life partners. If I start something and if my wife is not in support, so first person I have to bring in support is Gitika because that is my first priority. I'll sit with her. Because I know if anything I do, it will impact her life as well. Because the first person will be impacted in any of my decision is my wife. Obviously my kids are small right now. By the time they become 15, 18, I have to start involving them in my decision as well because my decision will impact there also. So first, this I cannot take lightly because that is important person in my life. Second, if there are business partners, business stakeholders are there because I'm running a business, so there will be always board of directors, there will be co-founders. I will sit with them, and my first question I'll understand why is this guy opposing? And I've always found whenever somebody opposes, some opposes out of insecurity. And if it is insecurity, then I have to understand is it an insecurity which I am creating, or is it an insecurity which the person is naturally having? If a person is naturally having, at least I will sit with that person and try to share my vision. I'll paint the picture that where we are moving. And I always give them time as well because if I paint my picture, if I paint my vision, doesn't mean that everybody will get an understanding so easily. Now listen carefully, if you are a D personality who do not have patience at all, whenever you work with people, let me tell you, you cannot force your idea on people without damaging them. You have to influence people. And that's in my communication skill training. I don't train people to do smart speaking. I tell them in my entire communication skill workshop, my 70% component is about building relationship to an extent where you can really influence people for a common cause. And that is the most difficult thing because we all want things now. So first thing. So first, who is doing it? Then why is he doing it? And once I write it down, so I write down on paper, okay, if I am doing this, what will happen? Is it going to create some financial insecurity in his life? Is it creating something because of my work? Will it recognition fall down? Why is the person opposing me? Once I get these 2 answers, then comes the last question. How was it given? Was it given with a critical remark or was it given in terms of feedback? If it is a critical remark, then I'll again start thinking, I'm not joking. I've done it with a long time because in my last 12 years, I have done so many ventures, starting from sales to leadership to everything. I've done with almost all areas, and I've worked with all class of people, starting from students to company CEO. I've been working from all groups of people. And what I observe always, if it is given with wrong intent, if I see the feeling inside is critic, then I know, boss, this guy, I have to slowly come out of it because this person is having negative intent and negative personality. If he or she is a negative personality, then I know eventually this will not work. So this is the second point which I covered. What is the second point I covered? First, know yourself, then change yourself. So if you have to change yourself, only for one reason I'll change. By doing this analysis, who is giving, why is giving, and how is he giving? These 3 answers, if I have, then I will decide, shall I change or shall I not change? Because many times, because people are involved, The change may take time. They're always saying, right? If you want to go fast, go alone. Write it down. It's a very interesting line. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, take people along with you. And when you go and take people along with you, you will slow down your speed. So I repeat again, if you want to go too fast, then go alone. But if you want to go far, you need people. Otherwise, you'll be tired, isn't it? And when you need people, there are personalities, there are different things which you have to do. And this is the second point which I covered. Third point, which will help you to handle this problem is, and this is something interesting, accepting yourself. What I have found, a lot of people struggle to accept themselves. Now, what do you mean by accept themselves? Let me ask you this question. It can help you out probably. And then I have something very interesting for you. This is the last question of the day. Answer this question. All right. So again, I'll remove this one so you guys can go straight away to the section 3. Same link. You can go for section 3. All right. Go to the next section. All right. So I hope it is there. You can go to the same link you can use and go to the third one. This is very interesting. What are the insecurities at different time frame? All right. See, all of us have crossed some time frame. Let's say when you're 20, what was the insecurity at that time? When you're 30, what was the insecurity? Same form you can use. Go to section 3 straight away. Okay. Go to the section 3 straight away. What was the insecurities at different time frame? When you're in college, what was the insecurity? That time probably your looks were more, you're more worried about looks, you're more worried about your body, you're more worried about your marks, you're more worried about impressing some opposite gender. That was your insecurities at that time. When you become 30, what are the insecurities? Was it making a lot of money? Was it, what was that? And if you're in 40, if you already crossed 40, presently, what is the insecurity? If you're in between 40 to 50, what do you think is the insecurities? And now, that insecurity which you crossed now. So when I see my college insecurities right now, it looks ridiculous to me. Hey man, how come I was insecure for that? But that point in time, that was a very high insecurity for me. So now reflect your life right now and think the insecurities which you had at the age of 40, at the age of 20, or at the age of 30, or at the age of 40, how relevant they are right now. Because that can teach you a lesson right away. Because we can always learn lessons by reflecting in past. Anybody who can reflect in past properly, they can learn lessons very easily. All right. So take some time and type it out. This is not an objective question. You have to answer. And let's see the answers. How are they? Oh, wow. Answers are quite interesting. This I'll bring out in Excel sheet. Right. One minute more. I know typing will take some time. Right. It's quite a good answers. So let's review the answers, and then I'll invite a couple of, if somebody is available, I'll invite a couple of speakers as well so that we can share this perspective. So let's see the answers. That will be really good one. Okay, let's see. Just review the answers because this can open up a lot of lessons for you. Let's see here. How's the answers? Okay, so let's see. I was insecure about my luck. Today I realized luck is only a small reason for success. Wow, that's nice one. Whether my hypothesis will work or not. Now, what is your belief? Will it work or not? Physical features was my childhood worry. Now I'm on my right path. Perfect. People laughing at me was everyone I talked to, make me very light and as one comedy piece. So he used to believe he was a comedy guy. Okay. 20 to be in topper list. Wow. 30 to be in good job and career. 40 to be in good at my finances. Wow. You actually written what I've written in my notes. I'll write it down that. Impressing girls. Wow. I like it, man. You're an honest guy. Yeah. College days getting a rank. And at the 40, financial security. Wow. Past insecurities were not real. So that means currently insecurities will also not last long. That is awesome. I really like this lesson because the past insecurities were not real. That means your present insecurities are also, when you will see the same insecurity of today, 5 years later, you will realize they are also actually baseless insecurities. Wow. Insecurity was to get a job and grow in career. Life should have been far better if a mentor was available 15 years back. It's never too late. You can start today. But a lot of people are not having mentor. See, in India, the culture is a lot of people don't understand what is coaching and mentoring. They don't understand and appreciate. All successful people invest more than 10% of their income in coaching, personal coaching. Personal coaching is not training. Let me explain to you what is coaching. Coaching is somebody is there to discipline you, to tell you upfront what is your area of improvement, where he can come and correct you because you're paying him. So you are really serious about his advice. Okay. Instead of looks in college, marks this, more or less similar. Self-doubt and lack of clarity. Now my question is that was self-doubt and lack of clarity. What about present? Presently, if it is same, then 5 years later, if same question somebody will ask you, what will you answer? That's very, very important. College, getting a job after completing, after getting a job, growth after growth, future prospects of job. All right, that's good. Insecurity being in college, well, I'm an average student, cannot be successful. Now this seems irrelevant as success is proportional to learning. Absolutely, I like this answer. During college, I was worried about scoring high marks. Now, as job insecurity was somewhere also, it outscared me in this. Now I realize that those insecurities were formed because of my fear of rejection. Now I focus on improving myself. Absolutely. The only person you can work on is yourself. All right. I'm 20, I had insecurity of my looks and communication. Now I feel instead of getting low all the time, I would have worked on improving myself. Absolutely. See, looks can only help you. They say, right? John Maxwell always says this. You can only impress people on the stage for some time. By the time they meet you in the green room, they'll realize the person talking on the stage and the person in the green room is not same, and that time you cannot impact them. So impressing can only work for some time. Okay, my age is 30. My insecurity is that I want to achieve my goals and I should not leave my focus and have to put my hard work. I did not want any regret. So for that, I'll tell you, you are 30, right? Imagine till 30 to 40 you have coach, and take out 10% of your income straight away. Take out 10% of your income straight away and put it in your personal coaching. I guarantee you, you will never regret by the age of 40. I assure you. Okay, that's for sure. I was worried about getting left out behind and fear of failing. Now I realize that I should not be competing with others. Absolutely, because if you compete with others, you will limit yourself to them. But if you compete with yourself, you will always grow. It is not theory; it's a truth. College time insecurity, not a good physical appearance, low confidence, low level, communication skill, work-life insecurity to keep up to date, 70% important, 30% not important. All right. So more or less answers are matching. If you see more or less answers, yeah, this one, some is good. 20, my English is weak. When I have 40% to 30% grammatical error, don't make it as your bottleneck. Okay. Talk with passion, talk with heart, improve on it, no doubt in it, but don't make it as a bottleneck of your life. Trust me. They're far more important thing than English. Language is to pass on your message. Unfortunately, we come to a culture where we believe we can impress people by some. The, there was time I used to read this Telegraph and Hindu paper, and somehow they were using some jargon. I started reading John Maxwell, and I realized, man, this guy is a gem. Because in one of his interview, one of the reporter wanted to ridicule him. So he said, John, your book Standard of English is meant for some school or college kids. And he started laughing. He said, it is intentional. You have to work hard to make it simple because it doesn't take difficulty to make it complicated. So I really work hard to make sure that my words are simple, my language is simple. Very, very important. So it's amazing. So I wrote it down like this before preparing for this session, that when you're 20, you're worried what world is thinking about your looks, your marks, your family background. That's why if you're from poor family, you always have insecurity. People should not know what sort of house I live in. Trust me, it doesn't matter. Okay. Second, when you're 30, you're worried about your career and your profession you choose. Good worry, by the way, because you have to have worry, but you're very highly insecure. Typically, what will happen here, I'll tell you where people go wrong. By 30, if they're into not right career, let's say for any reason, they start assuming now I'm doomed, nothing can happen to me, because they compare themselves with a lot of people who have good career. I can tell you one 10-year failure rule, not of 10,000 hour practice rule. I'm telling you 10-year failure rule. This rule I prepared when I was in IIT days because I was failing. So when you fail, you want to console yourself. So I realized it doesn't matter. Some people will succeed now. Eventually, they'll fail later on. And some will fail now. Eventually, they'll become successful, because everybody has to face failure of 10 years after becoming successful. I'm not talking about failure before success. Even after becoming successful, you have to fail for 10 years. Check it out. Amitabh Bachchan, after becoming successful, he failed for 10 years. Those who cannot handle, Vinod Kambli could not handle failure after becoming successful, so he has to come out. Sachin Tendulkar became a failure after becoming successful for some time, because he was out of form for 2-3 years, if you remember, if some of you are a cricket fan. Those who can become failure after success for 10 years, they will be the mega superstar of the world. And that somehow, I don't know, we are not prepared for it. We think failure is a taboo. And that's the series I'll be doing after this leadership session. But that is not. So by 40, people are worried about your lifestyles. Yes, money is important, trust me. But you know what is my idea? One of the lesson I covered long time back, which I'll be starting this year again. By 40, if you're not clear about your passion of life, by 40, if you're not clear about your passion and your interest, trust me, you cannot make big difference in life of others. You know why? By 40, at least you'll be not having financial crisis, in my knowledge. If you really work hard till this point, you'll have at least some good enough money, not very rich, at least some money will be there. And if by the time you're not clear where you're going to put your next 10 years, now in 40, I'm very clear which area I have to put my time. So I'm very choosy. No, remove this, remove this. I'll just focus on coaching, mentoring, training people, because that's my strength, that I want to make it more stronger in next 10 years, because I'll be number one in this industry in next 10 years. Number one, no two, no three, number one. And if that I become, then trust me, from 50 to 60, I will compound. I'll actually compound, where I can increase my influence, where I can impact people in a much better way. But this is only possible if by 30 to 40, because in 30 to 40, when I was working in good companies like Qualcomm, Intel, TI, I was asking this question every day when I was in traffic, Vijay, is this what you want to do? Is this what is your future, to go to this log file, view this log files, find out this bug, and then fix this bug, and then it is not running? Some people are passionate about it. I'm not telling that, but I was someone, man, I'm not enjoying opening this log file itself. I'm not enjoying fixing this bug itself. What the heck it is? I'm not supposed to be a technical guy. I never got the excitement when the code is not running. When the code is not running, I said, "Arey yaar, ab isko fir se 2 घंटा लगेगा." But same thing when I'm dealing with people, I'm not like that. I'm enjoying, man, this guy is, oh, he's not understanding. Let me sit with him for 1 hour. Let me make sure that he understands. I'm passionate about it. Same technical code is not running. I'm shit, man. Ab isko baith ke 2 घंटा कौन डालेगा? Then I find whom can I delegate this work? Who can handle this? I am not a right guy for this. It's not that I cannot do. I'm not interested to do. Pass it on to somebody who is interested. Understand one thing. Somebody who's interested in technical thing, if you're excited, just focus on that. Be the number one in that industry. Number one. Okay? Don't think second or third. Number one. If you believe something is your passion, do not limit yourself to be less than number one. If you believe you're a health and fitness guru, man, be number one in that. Be number one health enthusiast person. You should know in and out about health. Somebody talks to you, he'll realize, oh shit, man, I mean, you know what is the test of a passion? Somebody sits with you for half an hour, he starts dreaming, man, I want something like this. Check it out. You meet somebody who's health freak person, sit with him for 1 hour, you'll realize, man, I should take care of my diet. I should actually take care of my physique. I should start doing some exercise. Correct or not? You spend some time with a music fanatic person who is crazy about music. You just sit with the 1 hour. You start thinking, I should play a guitar. And that's how I got 2 guitars in my life. I spent some time with some music enthusiast. I said, guitar hona chahiye ghar mein. And then I realized buying a guitar and playing a guitar has a 10 years time gap. I said, too much. How many 10 years will I give? I'll give 10 years for my studies. I'll give 10 years for my guitar. I'll give 10 years to learn marriage. Man, in one life, how many things I learn? I said, guitar, good for you. Keep it there. I know enough to play, but it is in my showroom. It's good to show to people that I have a guitar. That's it. Then I realized everything takes 10 years, man. How many things? This is the error people do. What they do, I'll tell you, where they go wrong in their life. They put 2 years in 20 things. And when they realize in their life at their 40, they said, man, I'm good for nothing, because they've invested 2 years in 20 things. What I believe, folks, experiment for some time. Understandable. You have to experiment to find out what you're good in. But you cannot experiment till the age of 55. Come on, stop it for somewhere. Somewhere put a full stop and identify, man, this is what I am gonna be for next 10 years. That's it. And then close your eyes, close everything, just focus on that for the next 10 years. And you see the magic. That's how it works. That's it. Nothing else. And if somebody can do that, it is not easy, and it is only possible with the last point. The last point of today is this: forget yourself. The last point is forget yourself. What I mean by forget yourself? Because once you start following your passion, you know what will happen? Once you start following your passion, you will see one big difference, that you cannot be sensitive about others' opinion, you cannot be sensitive about anything, and you cannot take yourself seriously. Why? Have you seen who criticizes you? Check it out. Check it out. The person who criticizes for anything is a person who is not working in that area. I repeat again. The person who criticizes you on anything is a person who is not working in that area. You will never see an author criticizing a book. So he knows how much of effort is required to put a book together. You will never see a TEDx speaker criticizing another speaker. He knows, man, how much of effort it is required to come to a stage and give a talk. The guy who will criticize a person who doesn't even come in front of 4 audience and speak, and he will say, man, it was not good. So always remember, folks, forget about yourself. If you're too worried about it, if your skin is too thin, you cannot lead, because criticism always comes from the people who are not working in that area. And that's good, because they know the subject from outside, so they can come and critique you. It's okay, don't take it personally. And if you take yourself too seriously, it will not work out. Now I'll invite a couple of people if they're available. I mean, if let's see if a couple of 1 or 2 people are there, so who can talk about this. I'll just invite 1 or 2 people, okay, so that can work it out. So I have to work it out. I'll ask in question session. So I'll have some questions in now 15-20 minutes. 15 to 20 minutes I'll have question answer session based on learning right now. So I'll just summarize before we get into question session. And 1 or 2 people I invite. Who is there? Who is there? Okay, I think Brajesh is. Brajesh raised a hand, right? Brajesh, you want to add something in this topic? In one line, if you add this last one, you just said forgetting about yourself. What would be your answer to this? Because this point, if I ask forgetting yourself, because the difficult part when you start following something, you'll find it very difficult, follow. What would you say for that in 1 or 2 lines?
See, Vijay, thanks for giving this chance. But when we listen this, it looks very simple. But when it starts following, then it's really difficult. Because since childhood, the kind of background which we come from, that people make sure that they criticize us, right? If you do something good, they don't worry about that. But if it's something bad, then they really worry about that. I still remember that my dad, he was not that much educated. But every time when he was coming after his duty, he was checking my notebook. And if I have done 10 right thing in English, right? Bihar mein English ke piche log bahut zyada padhte hain. So I was one of them. So if I was doing 9 good things in English, he was not even bothering about that. What he was bothering that ek mein tumhara red mark kyun aaya? So when these things get imprinted our brain, and we start focusing on those things, and then it becomes very difficult for us to forgive ourselves. But after coming into your association and after learning so many things from you, I realized that life is very small. Life is very short. If we'll keep everything on our head and if we'll keep moving our life, then we cannot able to run. We just have to drag our feet. And when we drag our feet, it is not possible that we are going to thrive in this world. So it is very important. What I've learned from you is that leave your baggage aside, whatever baggage, because past is not going to help. If anything in past which has been done, which is not going to help us, we just have to leave it wherever it is. I learned from you that how to forgive people. Even they have done good, have done bad to you, how to forgive them, how to move on. So until this we will not do this, because other person we don't know how things. So what I have seen that people who do something bad to us, and when we look to them, they are enjoying in their life. Yes, and by seeing them that they're enjoying, we get frustrated. So actually, we burn our own energy, we burn our own thing. But this I learned from you, that how to forgive people and just move on, because it is not going to impact them, it is going to impact us. So it is very important to keep ourselves relaxed and lighter so that we can start following the things which we want to follow. So
Absolutely,
I think this.
Very nice point. Very nice point. All right. So let me summarize this whole discussion which you have covered. It's a simple 4 points. So I started with a very simple thing, that life will teach you lesson. And I told you 5 rules. Number 1, you will learn lessons. There are no mistakes, only lesson. Then lessons are repeated until it is learned. And if you don't learn the easy lessons will become tougher and more harder. And finally, you will learn a lesson. And how will you know you have learned? If your actions change. Until the actions are changing, trust me, the lessons are not learned. Then I said, if you are kicked in the rear, it means you are in the front. If you are getting criticized despite doing the right thing, then you should be very relaxed that, boss, I am doing something, people will criticize. That is for sure. So don't take criticism too personally. Take criticism as a feedback system. Trust me, I take it. I mean, I'm also human being. I also get hurted when people first thing they do is say, they say no. I also many times before I take my phone, I say, "Yaar, abhi energy hai na mere ko," because I have to influence people, and I know the first thing they'll say no. So I go, okay, हाँ 2 घंटा लग गया, ठीक है. I have to have patience, and I'll pick up a phone to have that energy of 2 hours, because I know the discussion will go. It will start with a no, then it will come to neutral, then it has to come to influence. And if you don't have patience in between, you lose people, because people are people. Nobody's bad, by the way. It's just their opinion, so nothing can go wrong. Then I said, if you really want to handle this, then 4 things you have to do, which I covered today. Know yourself, then change yourself, accept yourself, and forget yourself. I know yourself. What did I say? When you're doing something, you should be very clear. Why am I doing it? Be very clear. Be very honest with yourself. Why am I doing it? Is it I want money? Is it I want recognition? What do you want? Be honest. There's no harm in it. I want security. I want to take revenge. If that is also feeling, write it down. Yeah, come on. I mean, at least be honest with it. Because until you're honest with it, what will happen is you will just waste your time. Once you know yourself, then the next point will come, that you have to change yourself. And when do you change? I give you 3 questions to understand when to change. First, identify who is criticizing you. What is the purpose? Why is he criticizing you? And then how is he criticizing you? So whenever I see this, who is criticizing, I see, okay, if he's a respectable person, I respect him. If he's my coach, if he's criticizing me, then I know his intent is to improve me. But I know my competitor is criticizing me, then I don't have to worry. My competitor is worried about me, so he's criticizing me, and I don't care about it. But if my coach is criticizing me, I will not try to defend. I will try to understand, what are you trying to say. The first answer I always use is, can you please explain me? Probably I'm not understanding. When I was immature, I used to defend. No, no, you will not understand, Paul. This is not how it is. Now I say, can you please explain me more? Somehow it seems I'm not understanding. Can you please explain me? And the moment I say, can you please explain me, the person start explaining me, and I get a bigger picture. So first, who is criticizing you? If you have made somebody coach, allow the person to come and add value in your life. Allow somebody to say, man, you are wrong. If you have an army of yes men, congratulations, you will be the Nokia of future. You will be Panasonic, because Panasonic, Nokia, don't you think some of them in their company would have said, man, we are not going to grow further? Do you think in Nokia nobody was there who could have said, man, Symbian is going to die very soon? Don't you think in Panasonic somebody would have said, man, digital market ka aa raha hai, kuch to hoga. DSLR camera, now mirrorless cameras are coming. DSLR camera, if they don't improve, they are amazing style, but it is too bulky to carry. What do you do with them? I have brought a DSLR 540, I think. It's a good one. I learned it, but I'm scared to take it because gale mein rahega, man. It's so difficult. I cannot enjoy my journey anymore. I want a mobile which is in pocket, cut say photo le lo. That's why mobile became so popular. That means what? DSLR cameras, if they are in their legacy, I understand they take great photo. If they do not change, they will be changed very soon. Mirrorless technology is coming. What I'm trying to say is, if you are having yes man, you will not work. So who is criticizing you? The next question, why are they criticizing you? So I'll sit down. Okay, they are criticizing because they're competent. I'm taking away their freedom. Because of me, that will be a problem for them. And if I find that it's a genuine, then I'll really relook. Then I'll change my strategy. If because of me, let us say I realize, okay, because of my work, Vinith will be impacted, or Brajesh will be impacted, or Vishal will be impacted, or anybody else, or Vishal will be impacted, I have to think, man, are they impacting? Then I have to change my strategy, because I don't want to impact. Because of me, I don't want to impact their life. I have to think. I have to rethink my idea. I cannot be the ego. That's the guy I said, right? They're so strong in their ego that they are like doing planks. I'm not an egotist person, man. If I realize because of me somebody is losing, then if I come to know, I immediately change my strategy right away, because that is how leadership is all about. And then third point, how was it given? If it was given with the intent of hurting me, then I'm not foolish to get hurted. If the intent was to correct me, the tone matters. Somebody's sarcastic remarks are giving, then I know, man, that the purpose is to disturb me. I will not take too much of toll on myself. And that's the third point which I talked about. Once you go through this, changing and then accepting yourself. If you do not accept yourself, you know what will happen? You will waste a lot of energy. You have to accept yourself. The biggest problem of accepting yourself despite knowing your weakness is the most difficult part. Accepting yourself when you are doing great things is quite easy, isn't it? Accepting yourself when you're not able to bring results the way you want, that point in time, accepting and believing is the most difficult. And the last point I said, don't take yourself too seriously. You will do blunders. Let me tell you, you will do blunders. If you do blunder, there's no point, no harm in it. Take a mic, go to public and apologize. How about that? I repeat again. If you do a blunder, no problem. Don't hide it. Take a mic, come to public and apologize. What is the problem? Genuinely heart. I mean, with genuine heart, say, man, I'm wrong. We went wrong. Our idea, it seems my idea was wrong. My idea was absolutely wrong. Then take responsibility of error. If because of you some loss happened, take responsibility of that error and move on. If that you can do, If that you can do, I can assure you, you will create a big company like General Electric, you'll create a big company like Intel, or you'll be something great, something where you'll create a niche on you. And I'll end you with this thought. Life is too short to be number two. Number three, life is one life, you can be number one in one area. And one of the most important points I covered today was everything takes 10 years. And you cannot invest in 30 things in one life. That needs 300 years. I give an example of guitar. I see a lot of people, they invest 2 years in 20 things. I say, bad luck, man, so much of energy. Thank God I don't have that much of talent. I only have limited talent. So I invested in that area 20, 30 years. And that's what I wanted to cover today. I'm sure you learned something good. If you learned something good, I'll tell you one thing. Don't keep it with you. I want entire LinkedIn, Facebook, whichever your channel you use, go and flood it up. Whatever you learn, pass it on, man. Pass it on. You know what will happen out of it? You never know whom will you add. And if you want, PIM is looking for a lot of volunteers. Why do you want volunteers? Bring more people. See, how many people can I reach personally? I can reach personally 20, 30 people in a week. If combinedly all 240 people right now think, oh man, if we can add some value, that's why it has been intensely kept 100 rupees only. I have not charged, because my personal coaching I charge more than 30, 40,000. But this group mentoring I have kept 100 rupees only for a simple reason that people should not be stopped because of a amount purpose. That's why it is there. And despite that also, we don't chase people. If somebody doesn't give also, we are fine, because we cannot chase people. That's not our goal. But idea is adding value to people. Okay, so basically bring more and more people. If you can, if we all can combinedly take responsibility of 10 people to make positive, next week how much we can have? 2,400. That's a simple way. If all of us can add value to society, making 10 people more positive, we can be 2,400 next week, and we can make a much better positive society. My question is, will you be the leader? Will you have the courage to be criticized? I don't know. Somebody will say, man, why are you promoting? I don't know why people have problem. You bring them up, let them come, let them enjoy. So go to LinkedIn, go to Facebook, and share your learning. Hashtag PIM, Peak Impact Mentorship. Hashtag me if you can search my name on LinkedIn, or hashtag your coach, whoever brought you up. And let's create a positive society. Now I'll invest 20, 25 minutes for question answer session. If anybody has a question, either you can raise your hand, I can bring you up, or you can type your question. And if you're not able to ask your question, don't worry. You can reach out to my email ID also, vijay@pim.org.in. Reach out to me, and I'll try to answer as much as I can. I every day answer 2-3 mails for sure. If somebody asks me any question, I try my level best to add as much value as I can. And obviously, I run a lot of workshops on leadership, on communication. If you want to grow at a smaller group, because that group has size of 20, 25 people only, I don't bring 50, 60 people there. At a smaller group, I do personal coaching where I coach them in some skill sets. And we're starting our workshop on communication skills tomorrow. Some of you are joining that. I'm looking forward to meet all of you tomorrow. And yes, we can have some questions. Anybody has any question? If you can raise your hand, we can unmute you. Something? Anybody else? Any question? I see some raised hands. All right, so if you have no question, then I'm done. I'll be done with my day. Next week we'll meet up. Okay, Gajanan has a question. Okay, Gajanan, please go ahead. I've unmuted you.
Yeah, hi Vijay. It was a nice session.
Thank you.
I have regarding criticism. This is in terms of scientific publications. When you have a teammate in a same lab who is also a grad student, you are also a grad student, and he's not an expert in that area, and he's criticizing each and every line whichever you wrote, and it's changing the picture what you are going to what you want to present, and it's like his criticism is not helping. But how to deal with such a situation?
Your voice was not clear. Let me repeat what I understood. What I'm trying to say is you are working on something. There's a person who is criticizing on everything, and that person do not have knowledge of the subject. So he's criticizing on every single line. Is this what I understood correctly?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
So first, I'll ask you again. Ask this question: who is criticizing? Why is he criticizing? And how is he criticizing? Let's go to 3 answers. So first, who is he? Is he somebody who can impact your future? Is he like your manager, or is he a junior? Who is he?
He's my lab mate.
He's your lab mate. Okay, so he cannot impact your career degree, right? First, so who is he is clear. Okay, why is he criticizing? Is he naturally an international criticizer? Is he having PhD on criticism?
It's his nature.
Okay, he's a PhD in criticism, and he'll get a PhD degree out of criticism. Okay, so you know why he's criticizing. So why are you taking it personally? He's a PhD in criticism, so that is natural ability. So what you should do, if he's your college and lab mate, first don't get in fight with these people. What I found, criticism is like itching. Once you start itching, what happens to your skin? Have you realized some itching comes and summertime it typically happens, right? It starts itching, you more you itch, you feel like you tear the skin and come it out, right? That is what exactly happens. So first, don't get involved beyond one itch. If you realize this person is a PhD in criticism, then first and foremost, I always say, right, let him, I'm just trying. I always found one easy way out. I can give my secret formula of handling this sort of criticism. I always say, man, I'm just experimenting, I'm learning. I understand what I'm saying is right. Just I'm for my learning sake. So he'll say, you're wasting your time. Like, yeah, that's what I'm. Anyways, I'm learning. I'm just experimenting. And then try to avoid these people slowly. But don't try to go against them, because the guys who criticize, if you go against them, what will happen? I'll tell you. They will take away your mental peace. First thing I've figured out is don't itch it. If there's any itching, don't itch it further. The more you itch, the more you take out your skin. So don't itch. This is what I would do in your shoes. So always you have to see who is criticizing, why is he criticizing, how is he criticizing. Who is criticizing? You know, he's a colleague. Your colleague cannot impact your future. So focus on your work. Why is he criticizing? He's naturally a criticizer. He's criticizing not only you, he's criticizing everybody, correct?
Yes.
And then how is he criticizing? His criticism is to make you disheartened or whatever his goal. So don't waste your time. Trust on me. You'll find this sort of people in my college days. I found in my office. I found, and they're all great people. I love them because they have their God has created them also for a purpose. Somehow they're not solving my purpose. So when they're not solving my purpose, I came out of the track. So you can try doing it. It'll work for you. It was a good question. A lot of people can get benefited. Very nice. I see some questions. Rupam, you have a question. I'll unmute you.
Hi Vijay. Yes, I have a question. Actually, it is similar to what the previous speaker asked. It's from my
Okay.
manager. So
Okay.
initially, my manager was very happy with my work, and slowly she used to encourage me a lot to do a lot of innovation. And I was really happy that okay, my manager, she's encouraging me. That's very good. Over the time, what happened? My clients started liking my work a lot, and they started appreciating me more than my manager. So I didn't have this problem of criticizing me from anybody because I used to take it as positive. Now, since the time my client started appreciating my work a lot, I don't know. I just feel that maybe she doesn't like to encourage someone more than her. That's the reason she started pointing my every work. She even if it is a training, if I'm training a bunch of people, she pointed out everything, even though it goes great. She started telling me that no, it was not good, or you should not do like that. I mean, small things, which even if I try to avoid that, it's hitting me and it's taking my mental peace. So I'm having a hard time, trying to adjust with her. And as I have switched like couple of jobs in 3 to 4 years, initially I thought if it becomes too much, I will leave the job, but I really do not think that will be the solution. Instead, I want to know how to handle her so that I can be at peace.
Absolutely. There's no ready-made answer to be honest, but I can understand what you're saying. How long are you with PIM?
I think book club, it's been 1 year now, but this
Okay.
is, I mean, your session is first one.
All right. First, welcome. Congratulations that you're part of my session. So what I'll tell you, see, I can based on information which you're given is very simple because it's the one side of your story. If I sit with the manager will say me another side of the story. So I don't believe in spotlight effect. One of my session I covered a spotlight effect. So what you have showed me right now is a spotlight effect. That this
Okay.
is what is happening. My work is getting appreciated, so my manager is feeling insecure. But there's a human need for sure. So what has happened probably is the way you are projecting yourself, you might be creating a feeling of insecurity in your manager. The way you might be projecting, I repeat again, the way you are projecting yourself. Many times what happens when you don't have people skill. See, I'll tell you, they're different. If you have not done career impact report, you should do it because this will have all the answers for your question right now. What it means is, see, let's say somebody is a D personality manager. I'm a D personality manager, assume. And you're a I personality. And I personality naturally are attention grabber. Wherever they go, they grab attention. And a deep personality, he want to lead, he want to dominate, he want to do something beyond. I mean, he want everything should be signatured by me, signature and stamped by me. That is a deep personality. Okay. And is a deep personality manager. A deep personality manager only want one thing, that don't bypass me. Don't bypass me. My signature should be there. And if you do not understand the need of human being, what will happen is you will be unknowingly changing company is not a solution because another company, same problem will come. Okay. So that means probably you are not understanding human personalities. It always happen. It has happened. And you'll see in the marriage also the same thing happens. Many times husband wife they start fighting because one person unknowingly is doing something which is violating the need of the other person. So actually it's a need game. So in my communication skill workshop, that's why I cover for 2 sessions. What are human needs? And if you violate any of these needs, what happens to them? So it's a big story. So first thing I recommend you, somewhere knowingly or unknowingly, you are taking away some of his needs. His needs might be of respect. His need might, so it may happen. So if I, in that situation, what I'll do now, if my client is asking me some question, I will always put my manager in CC and reply them so that he feel appreciated. That's the first thing. I will never bypass my manager, because who want to take unnecessary panga with me? What is my problem? I mean, I don't care. Correct now? So this small protocol, if you follow, then it will make your life easier. And if you see, okay, this person is becoming insecure, I will ask the opinion of that person. I'll involve the person in my discussion. I will not do it alone. I'll always ask, I need you. Even if I know the answer, I'll ask opinion. Why? Your deep personality manager is only looking, Baba, am I important or not? If he feels I am not important, he will take a gun and shoot you. But if you are intelligent employee, you will say, man, what is my problem? I can make the person feel important. Rather than taking my decision, I can ask him, what is your opinion? That's fine. Despite that, if you feel the friction is more, 90% cases, these frictions are coming because we do not know how to communicate. Our communication create insecurity in people, and once your communication is creating insecurity in people, chances of fights are extremely high. So this is in our control, and 90% cases, once you know how to communicate, this problem starts resolving automatically. That's a major thing. In some cases, the manager itself is totally insecure. Why insecure? That is none of my business. That is his life. In that case, I will switch on my company. But that is extremely rare cases, because I've worked with all sorts of managers. I've worked with managers who are extremely short-tempered. I've worked with managers who are extremely relaxed. I've worked with almost all percentage of people, and I know what they need. The moment I see, you know what? The moment I see you, I'll scan you and I'll say, okay, this person's need is this. Let me give it to her this. And the moment I give you what you want, we are best friends already. Correct or not? And that is an art you have to master. And my workshop actually teaches people that only how to identify people's need and how to connect with those needs. It's a big thing, but I am tried some of the tips. It will work out for you. All right, it was a great question. It can help others as well. Any other question? I see some lot of questions have been typed. Let me see some of them. My email ID is bijay@pim.org.in. Yes, what you can write down the email ID. How do we get to know that we are on the right path when people are criticizing us? And they're criticizing us or correcting us. Wow, what's a good question. Very nice question, Aswini. It's a very mature question. So whether the criticism is right or wrong, how do we know? Is a very good question. This comes with my first point, which I said, know yourself. If I do not know myself, I will get distracted by criticism. Let's take an example. I'm working on an idea. And as I told you, right, any new idea you bring on the table, the first reaction of people is no, correct? Now, if I am not secure, if I don't have a clarity, 100% clarity you will never have. Whenever I started any new venture, will I have entire clarity till last? No, I cannot have. And in between, there will be some errors also. First, if error comes, never hesitate to say, I'm wrong. This is the first rule of life. If you're a leader, if you realize there is something wrong, do not try to cover it up. Come, take a mic, go to public and say, I am wrong. I am sorry for it because I was not aware. It's okay. People will forgive you. Trust me, people will forgive you. They have no problem of forgiving. This is the first thing. So if I am very clear, why am I doing it? If my intentions are clear, then if I see people are criticizing, I'll ask only 3 questions. Who is it? Why is it? And what the way they are doing it. If this 3 questions, you will see clear-cut answer will come to your mind. So first, be very clear what are you doing. If you know, okay, I'm not trying to do anything wrong with others, my action is also not creating. So when you start evaluating, okay, let's say I realize, let's assume Rupam is, I'm his manager, and I see Rupam is getting every other day friction with him. So first I'll sit, man, what is the problem of Rupam? Why is he always opposing me? What exactly is the matter? So first I'll see whether I am violating some of her needs. I'll write down paper. No, I'm not violating anything. Then I realized probably Rupam is a negative personality. If she's a negative personality, then after that my filters are gone. Then I say, man, whatever they say, don't listen, man. Don't take it from heart anymore. Because I have to keep my job. I need my salary. Then this person's, it's like, spam folder. Then my brain, there's a spam folder. Whatever message comes of that person, it is in my spam folder. And the spam folder message automatically get deleted after 10 days. Trust me, I don't take anything seriously after that. Only till the point I have not created a spam folder in my mind, I am listening to that person. The moment I realize a spam folder, forget it, man. I don't care about it. That's the way I handle. That can help you out. I completely agree with what you said, but finding difficult to follow all those practically. Yes, you're right, Khushbu, it is not easy to follow from day one. So when I'm saying this, everything which I have experienced, that's why I gave my personal example. There were times when I was short-tempered. I have lost a lot of people because I was like, I am right, you are wrong, forget it. It will be done my way only. And I lost a lot of people. Then I realized this is not the way to do things. Then I said, okay, let people speak. But I was not listening to them. That was my second phase of life. Third phase, not only listening, I started actually adapting with them. And that's where I started becoming a leader. So I repeat again. First level, I said my way or highway. If it will be done my way, otherwise forget it, man. I'll find another person. That was my mindset when I was very young as a leader. Okay. Second phase came, I said, okay, listen to them. How does it matter? But I was not implementing them. So it was also not working. Third phase, it came when I started listening to them. I started understanding them. And if I find it is relevant, I started applying it. And when I applied it, I started giving credit to them as well. Man, this idea was because of this person's input, and I don't have any problem. I don't want to become the big sort of the team. So that's why it is not easy. By the way, you may have to fail. And when I'm saying this, I am into my entrepreneurship world since 2008. So it is 13 years now. So in my 13 years, every lesson, if I learn two lesson every year, I've learned 26 lessons in my 13 years. So that's how it is so slow. So expect to fail at least for 1 year. Okay. That was an eye-opening session. Okay, thank you, Pallavi. Very nice. One of my students is preparing for competitive exam. All right. He will just criticize me by saying, nobody likes your teaching. Your classes are boring. I just can't ignore and thank him for his feedbacks and just analyze it. Is it really true or he is not interested in, in the detail? Very nice question. I know it will be hurt to you because when you're putting your passion to teach people, but it's okay. I mean, I'll tell you sometimes when I take some feedback from my students and they say something, I really go and relook. It's okay to record your video and see how it is going. See, if it is coming from one or two students rarely, then trust me, when people check out anybody whose words, even Mother Teresa might be having criticisms. Trust me. Even the best renowned leaders in the world will have criticizers. If there are one or two, don't take it very closely from your heart. But if they're coming from a lot of people, then you need to relook and see. There are times I used to speak very fast. If you don't believe if you are finding my talk right now fast, I'll send you some of my recording of 2015. You will say, man, what is he speaking? Because I was speaking at a rapid speed. I was speaking like a bullet. Because of feedback, I realized I'm speaking very fast. Now, some of you will find I'm speaking fast now also, and it is a work in progress, but I have improved on it. Trust me. It is really slow. I can show you some videos, but this came because of feedback. People said, man, what is speaking? I'm not understanding. So I do not took it from heart. I realized, when you're right. Because when I saw my own recording, I said, man, I'm speaking so fast. Then slowly I realized have to improve, and I started working on it. So some criticism I have taken personally, not from the taking a hurt point of view. I took it from an improvement point of view. But again, remember who is criticizing. If you realize he's a certified criticizer, what is the right verb? I don't know. He's a certified criticizer. Then don't worry about it. Some people are certified criticizers. They get satisfaction of criticizing. Then let them take the satisfaction. Then you have to take your life anyway. If you get, but remember one thing: do not itch them. It's like itching. Do not get into argument with them. Do not fight with them. Do not try to prove them wrong. If you get into any of this battle, they will take you on the LinkedIn, Facebook, and everywhere, drag you and left, right, and center, and you do not know what happens after that. So don't get into that trouble. First thing you should say, man, I have good idea. I'll try to work on it. The first thing I said, not for the sake of criticizing. I really take it, and I know first thing is I always thank them that you are giving me feedback, and you will be surprised. People will not fight with you anymore until unless they are really international criticizers with the support of management. This for targeting me. I always think criticism is given by manager with the support of management team. This is for targeting me. I always think. If you think and it is not true, then don't worry. If you think and it is true, then you should worry. That's the thing. I mean, if it is really politics, then say major time I will tell you, because I've worked in many companies. You know what I found? A lot of us actually take too seriously about our technical knowledge, and we get into unnecessary battle. Seriously, I'm not joking. I've seen a lot of technical, hardworking people. They do not get their work highlight only for one reason. They do not know how to connect and relate with people. They confuse communication skill with speaking. Speaking is not communication skill. You know what is communication skill? Going and connecting with people so that they can understand your point of view, they can listen to you, they can respect you, and that is what most of the techie people lag. And if it is quite consistent, then I'll tell you what you should do is take out some money, invest on your communication skill. I do a lot of workshop every year. I do 4 sessions, 4 such workshop on foundation level. I do 3 workshop on communication skill. One is on foundation. One course I do on advanced, and advanced course is only for those people who are completed my foundation course. And from advanced, I take them to public speaking. Actually, a lot of people focus on public speaking. I say public speaking is the last thing to worry about. Don't worry about that part right now. Until you connect with the audience, then until you cannot inspire them and lead them, then go to the last chapter, which is public speaking. So if you want, I can enroll in one of my workshops. It will be really helpful. What about juniors? If he or she is socially active and so work less, I usually don't go and ask, why aren't you working? Complete it. He realizes that and takes advantage of it. No, yes, that is not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is this: connecting people doesn't mean that you will not work for you. There is a way to give on the message. I many times go and give messages to people, and if I realize somebody is taking disadvantage of them, I'll give you one simple $1 million question you can ask to people, and you'll see people are very serious to work. I'll ask them, do you want to stay in this company? Or you have made your mind not to work in this company? Simple, plain question. Second, can I help you somewhere? You ask these 2 questions. Trust me, that person will start listening to you. Not from threatening point of view. I'll ask them, if you already made your mind to leave this company, then no problem. Don't work at all. But if you really want to stay in this company, and if you want my help, I can help you to do something. That's the way I would like this, and it will work out. If you focus on your goals only and ignore your critics, then sometimes they start criticizing, taunting your family members about you at that time. You cannot ignore with your family. Now, understand, Dipesh, what is happening is this is a big error a lot of people do. I'll give you a very practical scenario. Let's say now, me, my wife, and my kids, we have 4 people right now, 2 kids, and my wife, and this. I start something, and let's say people start chasing my wife left and center, my relatives and all. What should I do then? I cannot let it go like this because my wife is with me. So I'll make sure that I protect my wife as well. The error you do is when you, it's not bothering is not the question. When you realize, okay, something is going beyond, so either I'll sit with my wife and explain the vision. I have to protect my wife. That's for sure. So if people who are around you and they are getting criticized because of you, you have to do something for it. Share the vision, sit with them. But if the criticism is coming because of something wrong, then anyway we can change ourselves. Use criticism as constructive for motivation, or just ignore all types of criticism. See, again, ignoring criticism and not will be decided by 3 questions. Who is doing it? Why is he doing it? And the way, what is the way he's doing it? If I realize the intentions are negative, then just ignore them. If you realize there might be something positive, then don't ignore them. Try to go into depth. All right. Even if I ask, he replies something and skips how to talk with them. This is the entire curriculum of communication skills, Yaswant. I think this can help you out. My workshop can definitely help you out because these things are not easy. Great answer. I done got it. A person came from low level surrounding of them are also same. But once this person is successful, they are moving out of him, but he need him as it hurts. I could not understand this question. Once this person is successfully, they are moving out of him, but he is, it's, if I understand correctly, Vaibhav, your question is that once you become successful, the other people around you who did not become successful, you have to let them go. That is a harsh reality. Yes, you have to, because see, the friends of mine who were in 10+2, they did not grow themselves. They are still in Odisha. They have not worked. They have not read anything. When I go to them, they still talk about 1999. Unfortunately, I have moved on. I am no more in 1999. I am in 2021. So some people, just age comes, maturity doesn't come. So in that case, I have no option. I mean, I have to move on. They may say me selfish, but I have to move on. I've seen transfer to new section in my company, which I liked, but my manager stopped that transfer. And now he criticizes me about my work and is planning to leave the organization. What should I do? Very good question. It seems somewhere down the road you have made your manager insecure, most probably. These are quite see, most of the time when it happens, this all happens out of insecurity, politics. Because a lot of things, what is politics? When somebody feels insecure, he or she will try to protect his or her terrain. 90% time, these things can be done by proper, polite communication. I have found most of the people, what they do is they unknowingly hurt somebody because they don't understand human need. They don't understand human principles, and they even don't know their personality and the manager's personality. So they do things randomly. I have done it myself, so I can feel your pain. So I'll say the basic requirement is that go through it, understand personality. If you have not done your career impact report, first thing you should do is go for career impact report so that you understand your personality. And with this, I can do a small training on communication skill workshop. You can part of it. You can actually save a lot of your effort. Otherwise, what will happen, I'll tell you. If you go through the skill set thoroughly, communication skill, if you can master this 1 year, just focus on 1 year only on one thing, just focus on your communication skill, you'll see transformation change in your personality and growth. Very good question, Soumya. I want to know my passion. Unfortunately, after a lot of thinking, I could not be able to find it. It's a big question. In fact, one of my curriculum I'm launching on this topic, but it's a very valid question. I can give you a simple 1 or 2 answers which can help you out because it's a big topic. Easiest way to find passion is first see what work you are doing right now and are you enjoying it? If you're not enjoying it, why are you not enjoying it? Is it you're not enjoying it because it is difficult, or is because anything you learn new, it will be difficult. So when I started doing my sessions on Zoom, it was very difficult initially. You know why? Because when you're habituated to meet people face to face and see their faces and talk, now I can only see hardly 6 faces in front of me. So in that case, I was very uncomfortable. I was thinking I'm talking to a mirror or I'm talking to a wall. But then slowly I got acquainted. I said that's natural. It's okay. That's how it has to be. So initially I thought of not doing it, but then I realized probably that is the way the future will be. So let me change. So if it is just for change purpose you're finding difficult, then you should change yourself for sure. Otherwise, I'll tell you, passion will come. The first point is, are you enjoying what you're doing? If not, then start looking for it. What do you enjoy? If still you're getting confused, find some work which you would love to do. Many times if I say, what is your goal? You will not get an answer, but answer an easy question. What work would you like to do? They'll say, okay, I want to go trekking. I want to do this. That means you like something which is thrilling, something which has some changes. Based on your personality, you will come to know, because it's a big question. It can be answered in one thing. What's the best way to take new ideas to superiors without further? The best way is you have to understand people's personality. Since your questions are very mature, I like it. So what you're trying to say is simple. Anytime you take an idea, the first thing you have to understand what is his personality. That's the first thing. And every personality has a different encoder installed. It's like I'm a VLSI engineer. So I'll tell you a very simple format. Analog signal cannot be accommodated by digital thing. So analog signal has to convert to digital format, and then digital signal will go. So what happens most of the time, people are not aware of personalities. Based on their personality, they try to give people the data. So first thing I'll tell you, if you want to do something, immediately get into your career impact report. You'll come to know your personality. And in that, when you'll have a one-to-one session, I can answer some of your questions. I can take you what will be your manager's personality, how to relate with them, what will be your client personality that can really help you out. So it was a great session. I'm so happy to talk to all of you. Still, if you have any question, do not hesitate to reach out to me on my email ID. I repeat again, my email ID is this. And I run an email series. I'm sure Vinith might have given you already. That email, every week I send 4-5 emails. You can go through them. So for career impact report, you can contact the person who invited you, and it will cost you 15,000 rupees. So you can complete that. So you can check my email, or you can, the person who's invited, you can talk to them, or else you can reach out to me, vijay@pim.org.in. So I'll help you out. So career impact report will be an online impact report. It will have 7 things about your personality. It will have about your personality trait. It will have about your internal behavior factors, what drives you. It will have your learning pattern. It will have a thinking pattern. It will have a leadership pattern. A lot of things are there into that report. It's a very powerful report. Once you go through the assessment, you will come to know a lot about yourself. If you want more information, you can reach out to me and we can talk one-on-one on phone and I can help you out. It was great talking to you. Over to you, Vinith. And if you have something, we can work out.
Thank you so much, Vijay sir. Let's give a good round of applause to amazing session. We done so many things, right? I think the most important thing, I'll take it as a takeaway, and you should we all should have that takeaway. Vijay said, right? Until unless we bring that learning in the action, there is no point of learning, right? And the most important thing is we should not take us too seriously, right? The most of the things we are not doing because we are taking us too serious, right? We keep saying that we should actually share all our learnings, right? But then because we take ourselves so seriously, hey, what if somebody criticizes me? Hey, what if somebody laughs at me, right? So it's so important. This is the time. Today you can test it out. Let's do that. Let's at least write one takeaway. Put #peak impact mentorship. Tag your coach. Tag Vijay sir as well. Tag peak impact mentorship, and see, you'll be surprised that most of the people will appreciate you. And if somebody criticizes you, then I think you have got a test case, right? What you have learned today, then you can apply that, right? So let's do that. Otherwise, guys, we will not be able to go to the next levels, right? So amazing session and so many learnings. Share your learnings and be part of this PIM workshop. So it's a leadership series and it's going to be multiple session series. So be part of the next session and learn as far as you can. Yeah. Thank you so much and have a great night.